What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we are jumping into Action Comics 1050. This is the new era of Superman, and I am so excited to get into this story with you guys, because I know a lot of you Superman fans, you're going to be very happy of the outcome of this story. One thing we are finally starting to understand is what is Project Blackout. Lex Luthor has been working in the shadows. He is making moves, and we really don't know what this is all about. But Lex Luthor is also about to learn that the Superman that returned from Warworld, he's not the same Superman that he used to be. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Manchester Black currently hooked up to a machine. Because while Manchester Black, he tried to walk away from Lex Luthor, Lex Luthor had one more plan for him. And it has everything to do with Project Blackout. This is where Lex Luthor knows that Manchester Black, he is going to die, but also letting him know that here at the end, he is finally reaching the true potential of his power. What he is about to do, it will be miraculous. One thing that Lex would like to know, while they were away on Warworld, did Superman truly make a believer out of him and everybody else? With Manchester Black admitting that he did, that he drank the Kool-Aid. He fought and bled side by side with Old Blue. This is when Black, he goes ahead and he teases Lex Luthor, saying that in Superman's darkest moments, do you want to know what he says about you? With Manchester Black saying nothing. In his darkest moments, in the most deprived of places, he didn't mention Lex Luthor not a single time. The truth is, Superman doesn't think about him at all, laughing hysterically. This is where Black meets his demise. With Lex Luthor hitting that switch, the power surging, it goes up into the atmosphere and it spreads across the globe. From Tokyo, Japan, to the gardens by the bay in Singapore. From Australia to Jamaica, we see that the Kent house, it is unaffected because of the shield that they just recently put up. And so everybody inside is protected from whatever just happened. Superman is safe. He is in India taking care of a broken dam. Jonathan going out to help him out. The two of them take care of this. Meanwhile, at the Kent house, we have Perry White as he comes in and says hello to everybody. With Perry White looking over at Superman, he is shocked, asking what he is doing here. They don't understand what is happening, but Perry White, he starts to have a pain. He falls to the ground, dropping a bottle of wine. Rushing him to the hospital, it appears that he had some kind of stroke. Moreover, somehow, Perry White has forgotten who Superman is. That somehow the very idea that he was Superman, it almost killed him. That is when Clark, he hears an alarm. He hears a ringing, causing him pain. This is where Superman takes off. He takes off and he goes to the LexCorp building. That is where he finds Lex Luthor. He is the one that set this alarm off. Over the years, he noticed that Jimmy Olsen had a watch much like this. A signal that could call whenever he needed help. And so Lex Luthor made his own with some obvious upgrades. This is where Superman asks him, what does he want? Lex going on to say that he has had some revelations. One of them being that the world needs Superman. Being proven right twice, at least since Dark Knight's death metal, during his extended stay on Warworld, and then during the multiversal mayhem that was Dark Crisis. Lex knows that there are more challenges on the horizon, that the Superman symbol means so much to humanity. Lex wants him to use this to lead them into a better future, saying that if the world needs Superman, then he is going to give them the best version possible. That is the LexCorp Superman. This is where we see a suit with the Superman sigil and LexCorp also across it. He wants Superman to wear the suit. With Lex's mind and resources, they could accomplish anything, saying that he has spent years studying Superman and he believes that he can fix him. But to do that, there must be sacrifices. The world needs to see him as a god, that he is above them and not one of them. The world cannot know who Clark Kent is, letting him know that while he was gone, Lex had gathered things from Warworld and Henry Bendix, combining this with the powers of Manchester Black, pushing him past the potential that he ever thought he was capable of. With Superman hearing enough, he goes in to stop Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor hitting that button on his watch, causing a tremendous amount of pain to Superman's ears. With Lex's suit beginning to form around him, he lets us know that if anybody knows Clark's secret identity, then it could very well kill them. That if he agrees to work with Lex Luthor, maybe he will lift the punishment for the truth, saying that he is lucky that he was even able to keep his marriage, that his son is questionable. That is where Superman, he hits Lex Luthor, knocking him all the way down to the ground. Lex, he begins to use the civilians, throwing people left and right, throwing vehicles, causing damage. That is where Superman grabs him and throws him up into space, opening up some room, getting civilians out of the way. He throws Lex Luthor right into the moon, with Lex going on to say that when they were in Smallville together, Clark could have been there for Lex. Lex felt alone in the universe, as if nobody understood him. But Clark had lied to him, hiding who he really was, hiding that he was also alone, also an outsider, that they could have helped one another. But for years, he kept this a secret. Instead, he gave the identity to others. He let other people know who he was. Lex going on to say that if he wasn't good enough for the truth, then no one is. The fight continuing and Superman saying that you can turn this around, you can fix this, but asking, where is Manchester Black? This is when Lex Luthor begins hinting that Manchester Black is no longer with the living, saying that the world is better off with him gone, that they both know he was simply too dangerous. No one should have that kind of power. He was the master stroke to Project Blackout. Black's gifts of hypnotic control, it was unmatched, using it on billions of people at one time. The strain of it did kill Manchester Black, but Lex believes that this is a bargain twice the price. And thanks to Black, now Lex Luthor has access to Warworld technology and enough power to make Superman submit. As the two begin to battle, this is where Lex Luthor, he teleports Superman out of here. He teleports him into the Canis Major system. With him believing that he won this, he turns around. But then something happens. A small electrical surge. And then a portal opens up. A voice letting Lex know that he simply doesn't get it. That Superman is not like he was. His mind and body, they are stronger than ever. Concepts like weight, distance, even space-time and temperature, they have largely lost their meaning to Superman. In moments, he can cross distances that cease to be distance. He doesn't need little metal suits or ray guns to do this. With a simple touch, we see Superman is able to break apart Lex Luthor's suit. We are seeing that Superman has gone straight God mode. That his time on Warworld, being exposed to Genesis, many of us were hoping that this powered up Superman, and it has. Maybe not indefinitely, but he is stronger than ever. With Lex Luthor being hauled off to prison, we are taken to Gotham, with Superman having a discussion with Batman on what has happened. Now, the Justice League reservists, the Titans, they all had a psychic defense set up by Martian Manhunter. Superman's parents, Jay, Lois, they were all protected by the shield that had been put up at the farm. But everyone else on the planet, they no longer recognize the identities of the Supermen. But it's not just the people have forgotten who they are. The suggestion is so strong that it extends to any images or other media people see. If it contradicts what their mind is telling them, they reject it, which is why we saw Perry White have that minor stroke. The simple answer to why Lex Luthor did this: he doesn't like the world seeing Jonathan and Clark as human. But Bruce has to ask, is this really a bad thing? Because there are many benefits to the world not knowing this, like Lois Lane, all of her accomplishments, everything that she has ever done. It has been put in the shadow that she is the wife to Superman. And while she never complained, never said a thing about it, Clark knows that it also wasn't fair to her. While Superman is able to adjust to this, he is worried about Jonathan. Jonathan at a coffee shop picking up some coffee. Nobody recognizes him, nobody knows who he is. And while Superman believes that he may have some problems with this, Jonathan actually is very happy about it. He is now nobody, with Lex Luthor currently at Stryker's Island Penitentiary. In one of the most secure cells, we see Lex sitting and he is waiting. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the multiverse, we have a Kal-El. We have a dead Superman. It appears that somebody is going through the multiverse and they are killing Kal-Els. Not wanting to risk another dimension's Kal-El, they need the son of Kal-El. This is where we see Val Vaughn exposed, being the one doing this investigation. And now he is about to go recruit Jon Kent, which will lead him on his adventures through the multiverse. In Metropolis, we have Metello. With the resources and technology of Lex Luthor, we see him fully restored. We see him restored and more powerful than ever. A secret weapon that nobody knows about, but more than likely, we are gonna see hitting the battlefield very soon. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I have been a huge advocate of everything going on with Action Comics. Warworld was a big story arc, but it was a lot of fun. And we finally got to see Superman powered back up. For a while there, his powers had been dampening. He had lost a lot of strength, and that only happened more being on Warworld. But now we are seeing him stronger than ever. I'm really excited to explore the true extent of his new power. I am also very excited to see the journey with Val Vaughn. This is going to be interesting, and it's going to lead us into Ultraman. Who knows the outcome of this, but Jonathan finally being able to face against the person that had kept him in captivity, that had taken away his teenage years. But traveling the multiverse, there is always the possibility we see him get de-aged. It looks like we are about to have a very exciting future for Action Comics for Jonathan and for Superman. I personally am 100% on board with the future of Superman. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this story, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything happening with Action Comics. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.